Welcome to the Home Team, the show where no matter who you cheer for here, you're a part of the home team. I'm your host, Wyatt Bagnall, and today I'm doing my predictions for Week 8 of the NFL season. We are just about at the halfway point because of the 17-game schedule. And at this point, we have a pretty good idea of who teams are. We have a pretty good idea of who's a contender, who's not, and which teams are, there's always a couple of years that are going downhill because of injuries, and this is the time of year where everybody sort of starts to separate. So, for Week 8, before we jump in, hit like, hit subscribe. I would really appreciate it. Thank you very much. So, for the Week 8 slate, let's get to it. Baltimore at Cleveland. This is the challenge, is you try to find a way to make some of these sound interesting. I'm once again going to do the who I want to win versus who I think will win format. And who I want to win, oh gosh. I wouldn't mind seeing Cleveland get a win now that Deshaun Watson's out. But they're not going to. Baltimore's going to win this game. It would take a Herculean effort from the Brown defense, and they would have to, offensively, they would have to be competent even now that they've traded away Amari Cooper. I just don't think it's going to happen. I think the Browns accepted that it's not their year, and I think Baltimore's on a roll. So we'll go Baltimore over Cleveland in Cleveland. Tennessee at Detroit. I want the Lions to win, and I think the Lions are going to win. Tennessee's just not much competition for the Lions, I don't think. Maybe they can make it feisty. This is the NFL. Just because somebody's way better than you doesn't mean that it's necessarily going to be a blowout. But I don't see much of a path for the Titans to go into Detroit and get a win. Like really any at all. So it would have to be, it's an off day for the Lions and nothing's firing. So I'm going to go with Detroit here in another pretty easy one. Arizona at Miami. Now this one's more interesting than it was a couple weeks ago. Tua is back for this game. Now I suppose the question is, he seems to be pretty confident. I think that everybody else has made a pretty big deal about the concussion thing. And for good reason. He's had several concussions and they can be dangerous, but I don't think Tua himself has ever had any doubts about what he was going to do. And I think that idea of like, how's he going to be feeling in the game? I think that's something that we've come up with. And I think that boost in combination with the fact that this is a pretty desperate situation, I think Miami's going to beat Arizona. I want Miami to win that game too. So it's another one where it syncs up. Give me the Dolphins to bounce back. The New York Jets at the New England Patriots. I want the Patriots to win this game. This would be hilarious if the Patriots win this game, but I think the Jets are going to win this game. Drake May has given them some life, but the Patriots just, man, they don't have talent. Outside of, on the offense, I really do think that what Drake May has shown, given the situation, is impressive. But that's not going to save you against a team that, listen, they're dysfunctional in every single way. But I think that there's some dysfunction going on in New England, too. I was never a fan of the Gerard Mayo hire, and I'm even less of it now. Atlanta at Tampa Bay. Ooh. We had a really good game between these two a few weeks ago. Man, this is difficult. I want Tampa Bay because I feel bad for what happened with their receivers and how depleted they're about to be. But I think that that's the same reason why Atlanta's going to win this game. I don't know if the Tampa offense is good enough and deep enough that they can mount a true offense without Mike Evans and without Chris Godwin. Speaking as somebody who has seen plenty of their own players and weapons go down this season in San Francisco, it just sucks. It's not fun. It's one of those things where it's like, man, you don't feel like your team earned the loss. You feel like you just didn't have any choice but to lose it. And it sucks. And I think the Tampa Bay is about to be dealing with that. So I think Atlanta's going to win, but I wouldn't mind seeing Tampa get this one. Philly at Cincinnati. Rooting for Cincy, and I think Cincy's going to win. Philly's a talented, underachieving team for the most part, and I think Nick Sirianni, I don't usually like to cheer for people to get fired, but I cannot stand Nick Sirianni. I don't think he's a good coach either. I think if any other, like if you took Andy Reid, obviously Andy Reid, especially because he was in Philly, if you took Andy Reid, if you took Kyle Shanahan, if you took Sean McVay, if you took Kevin O'Connell, if you took, basically any coach of a contending team, like let me pull some other ones. D'Amico Ryans would be another one. If you took any coach like that and put them on the Eagles, they would be probably undefeated right now. But you have Nick Sirianni, and he is next to useless as a coach. He's just lucky that he got, hired by Howie Roseman. So give me the Bengals, and hopefully it's by a lot. Green Bay at Jacksonville. Shit. I mean, I'm rooting for Green Bay, and I think they're definitely going to win, and I don't think that one's going to be super close. I'm not impressed by anything going on in Jacksonville. Indianapolis at Houston. Ooh, okay. Stroud, Richardson, round 2. For the sake of Colts fans and a little bit of optimism around Anthony Richardson, I would like to see the Colts win this game, but they're not going to. I think Houston's going to win this game. I'm not impressed with Anthony Richardson right now. And I know that, this is something I've referenced before, which is he essentially lost the year that he was supposed to be developing. And so now people were hoping that he might have been a little further along by now, but it's just not possible. But it's still a little disheartening and disappointing, even though it's not time to panic yet in Indianapolis, I don't think. Maybe the year, like this season's probably not going to be a season where they're a playoff team. But much like I would say with any team with a quarterback within their first 3 years, short-term success is not necessarily paramount. You're looking beyond this year. You're looking hopefully into the future. And I think Indianapolis is missing a couple other elements on that roster as well. So give me the Texans. They just feel like they're going to bounce back from a tough loss in Green Bay. New Orleans at the Chargers. Oh, goodness gracious. I hope the Chargers win. Ugh, New Orleans and their injuries. I hope the Chargers. That Saints team is just so decimated. I think the Chargers will. If the Saints are going to have a chance, though, and they do have a chance, you just need to sell out to stop the run, and then essentially you got to hope that your corners can hold up against a lackluster Charger receiving core. And then offensively, listen, you're going to have a tough time of it right now, or it seems that you're going to have a tough time of it right now. I think that the Saints are sort of in a position where, who's starting for them today? Is it Rattler again? Yeah, it's Rattler again. He's a rookie. He could spike up and down. Hopefully this is a week where this is an up week for him, I think is basically where you have to be at. The Chargers, though, they're one-dimensional on offense, and defensively they're tough, but they can be had. Like, they're not one of the shutdown defenses in the league, but they're a good defense, no doubt. But I think their offense is where their weakness lies. Like, getting rid of, letting Keenan Allen walk out, and, Mike Williams, I think that it was time. But essentially not having any receivers to go into the year with any rapport or chemistry or history of being good with Justin Herbert. I think that that's proving to be a mistake. And I think that in the offseason, they're going to have to address that. But I think against this battered New Orleans team, it should still be enough. Buffalo at Seattle. I want Buffalo to win, and I think Buffalo is going to win. The Seahawks, they played well against the Falcons last week, but I think that had a lot to do with Atlanta not being able to make downfield throws. With Amari Cooper, the Bills keep adding layers to this offense. Josh Allen is by far going to be the best player on this field today. And I think that the Bills go into Seattle and beat the Seahawks. Chicago at Washington. Is Jaden Daniels playing? If Jaden Daniels is playing, this is interesting. If he's not, it's not so interesting. All right. It says that he's likely playing today, barring a setback. You know, I kind of want to see Washington win because I'm sort of rooting for them in the NFC East quite a bit. I want Washington to win. If Jaden Daniels is compromised, that Bears defense might be good enough because they're good. All right. I'm rooting for Washington, but I think Chicago's going to take this one. I need to know what the extent of that injury is in terms of him moving, in terms of him being able to torque his body and throw deep. A rib injury for a quarterback is potentially pretty detrimental. And against a Bears defense that is legitimately good, I think that Chicago's probably going to be able to take this one off him if he's compromised. Carolina at Denver, the game everybody wants to see. I want Denver to win, and Denver's going to win that game. The Carolina offense is basically not going to score, in my opinion. That Denver defense swarms, and I don't think Carolina has anything to offer them. So I'm gonna take Denver, especially at home. I don't think Carolina has the horses to do that. Kansas City at Las Vegas. It's not going to happen, but I would like to see the Raiders win. But there's like a 5% chance of it. Kansas City's going to win this game. Like, plain and simple. I don't think there needs to be that much that's explained. The Chiefs' defense is really good. The Raiders' offense is really not good. The Chiefs' offense is okay. It's all right. And the Raiders' defense is just not good outside of one player. So, give me the Chiefs. Dallas at San Francisco on Sunday Night Football. Okay. One team just has horrible vibes, and the other team has horrible injuries. What do we take? I obviously want San Francisco to win. I'm going to take us because it's desperation time. Not desperation time, but it's time where, like, this is a pretty critical stretch of our schedule here, and if we were to lose this one, we would be staring down the barrel of some tough games. Granted, the bye week's coming up, but I think we could really use this one. I think that where we're going to get our advantage is Dallas cannot stop the run. And our defense has played well enough that it stifles teams for times. And I think if our offense can just capitalize with the run game, it's going to have to be George Kittle heavy. Debo's going to play, apparently, which is shocking. But Juwan Jennings is out. Brandon Ayuk obviously is out for the year. Ricky Pearsall will have to step up. I mean, we just need more guys to not drop. Because it seems like we lose the guys in the game, it costs us. They sort of battle back through the week, and then in the next game, they drop again. So we need Debo. I mean, I'm not going to say we need Debo to be anything. Whatever his health status is, that needs to be the more important thing. But I know Kittle is dealing with something, not practicing during the week. Jennings is out. McCaffrey's still out. Jordan Mason's still dealing with the AC joint, but he's playing. I think that we can out-physical the Cowboys, and I think that we can out-coach the Cowboys, and I think that if Dallas gets down, they're more likely to implode than rise up. So I'm going to take us, although I completely acknowledge the possibility that they could get the jump on us. New York Giants at the Pittsburgh Steelers on Monday Night Football. Christ. I hope Pittsburgh wins, and Pittsburgh should win that game. The Giants are not any real competition for the Steelers. The Steeler defense will smother them. Maybe Malik Neighbors pops 1 or 2 big plays or something like that. But other than that, the Giants don't offer much. And then the Giants defense, their front is good, but other than that, they don't really have anything of note. And granted, Pittsburgh's offense is not elite. I know everybody's going to look at last weekend and be like, oh, they scored 37. Yeah, okay, cool. I don't care much for one-game sample sizes, and with Russell Wilson, it's a one-game sample size. So I expect that this game will probably be a little bit more low-scoring. Maybe I think the Steelers could hit the mid-20s probably. So give me the Steelers, though. And that wraps it up for Week 8. I think that this is the time of year where these games are getting a little bit easier to predict, and nowadays the thing that more causes problems is like, this team had some injury luck, this team went out and missed kicks. Like, those are the things that cause a lot of the upsets outside of just those really good games where it's like, man, really could go either way. So we'll see. We're getting to that time of year where teams are going to rise and teams are going to fall, and we're going to get a pretty good picture of where the playoffs are in a couple weeks here. And so it's exciting. So everybody enjoy. Have a great day. I hope everybody's team comes out healthy. I hope my team just doesn't drop more, guys. So, yeah. Everybody have a great day. Thanks for tuning in. Like and subscribe. Peace.